Welcome back to the Cannabihhhh Podcast. Let's dive into the functionality of cannabis together.
Yes.
Cindy, so tell me, how do you start your day when it comes to every day?
Okay. So my everyday life now, I do not wakey bakey. I used to though, and I was that wakey bakey in the morning, and it had me
Right.
going.
Ready to go.
Like I was on the go. You know, I fortunately I suffer from a little bit of anxiety. I might be a little ADHD. I self-diagnosed myself. But it helped me function in the day if I did wake and bake. It was just that, or sometimes I didn't have to wake and bake. I would just go and pick my little garden gummy or my Eddie Betty, whatever would get me. It all depends on how I would wake up.
Right.
So that was my beginning. Now, because my anxiety is a little bit more under control, and life is a little bit more functional, I can say I don't wake and bake.
Okay.
But it depends on what I'm going to do that day.
Right.
If I'm going to wake up and it's going to be a Saturday, I'm going to throw on some salsa and clean my house, I might do an Eddie Betty. Why not? Get in the zone, get it all knocked out and be nice and, ready for the world. But that's how I wake up. How you wake up?
Well, I feel like no, I don't wake and bake. If I feel like I'm pondering in my head, I'm like, no, I don't wake and bake because I feel like I'm a very energetic person. So I feel like if it's not to say I go slower, but I mentally feel like it slows me down and I end up lagging. But if I've gotten everything done, let's say for that morning, and let's say I don't have anything to do, then yeah, and I'll chill out and I can chill and I can still cook. Let me tell you, cook,
Get in the
whether
zone.
on a
Right.
Eddie Betty or, a stoner day, it's what it is. And I feel like my food comes out even more tasteful,
'cause you're so focused.
because I'm so
You're like,
focused on
"Ooh."
it. Like, so I feel like my day doesn't consist of a wake and bake, but I can throughout the day. Once I've gotten to that functional moment where I've had my coffee, I've had, everything I need to do, I've got my children out the door or do what they got to do, then I can function more and I can focus more.
Right.
It is something that I have, like, soon as I get into the office, I can bust down with my tea and my tinctures and I'm good to go. And I feel like I focus better because, again, I don't have to worry about the house or I forgot to turn off the stove, because my mind flipped to another, let me go and put the butter on the bread, or you get what I'm saying? But if we're all home and it's not just me, then I'm better if I do wake and bake, not if I can, but if I do wake and bake.
Do you feel there's a difference when you wake and bake and it is like a doinker or a Eddie Betty or a tincture?
Huge difference.
Which one would you prefer?
I like a tincture. I like a tincture because, like I said,
know
I
you
like to
do.
have. I like to.
Not I, ma'am.
I like to have a tincture because I like my coffee in the morning or my tea in the morning or whatever it is. And I feel like it makes me focus. But I'll have so many thoughts going through my head of focusing that it's like, okay, Kendra, you're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're going to do this. Yep. And we're going to do this next. So I have no distractions because then I have to check off on the list so I can
Do you
really
remember
focus.
my tincture episode?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did. That was that was a great day.
And
That was a great
no,
day.
it was not great.
was
It was
quite
great maybe for you.
hilarious.
Sit back and laugh at me, but it was not great for me. I was just like stuck. Well, I was just, and then your dear fiance got me more stuck that I was like, why is he asking me questions right now? Like, I'm just so gone. I don't know. Would I try it again? Maybe, but No, it's
It is
sad.
fun, guys. Tinctures is fun.
It
She
can be. It was an episode. It was an episode.
She was, in her work mode, and she wasn't ready for what was coming to her.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. It was just, I think I had too many things going on that I was just kind of like, whoa, wait. It is a different feel, though.
It is a different feel from an Eddie Betty. Oh my God, it is huge, like big difference from an Eddie Betty. That I feel like an Eddie Betty, I get munchies.
Oh, galore.
I'm super thirsty. Oh my God, I'm super thirsty.
Yes. They do dry you up.
Oh my God.
They do.
You feel like a prune if you don't have no water.
Right.
It's like, I'm thirsty. Nothing is satisfying. And then I don't know about you, but I always like my chocolate. So I have to have my chocolate with my Eddie Betty. I have to put all that together because it's just like
sugar in.
But I feel like it kind of brings me down a little bit. It's like once I start craving the chocolate, I'm like, all right, I'm coming down. It's trying to come out. Like,
and that's how I feel. Like when I do Eddie Betty's, I have to. It gives me that munchie. But once I get that munchie craving out the way, I feel nice and mellowed, like relaxed, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I really can. You know.
See, that mellow feeling that you get from the edible and eating after, that's how I get on my tincture.
That's how I'm supposed to feel on
That's
tinctures.
how it really is. It really is.
It wasn't for me.
But everybody's different. This is why everybody
I know.
medicates differently. For me, it is such a focuser point for me. Like it allows me to focus so much better, and things that would normally take me to 100, like, this is not supposed to, it's more like, yeah, no, all right, we're gonna just go with this. It is what it is, and it's compared to me being so Hulkamania and ready to freaking thrash anybody's heads open, So it definitely is a different effect. I can definitely say, and my mornings, that would be a little bit hard for me to do if I was to do that on some mornings as I would like to, because there's just times I don't have that moment to really just let life go by. Sometimes I have to have that aggressiveness to be like, no, we're not doing this. No, this needs to be this way. My daughter knows when I'm on.
Like, okay, time to stay away from my mom.
Yeah, she knows. Boy, if I'm on an Eddie Betty, especially, it's like she knows. She like tries my life. She really does. And I sit there, and because I'm slow motion in my head, I'm just like, yep, you're just still gonna take that, aren't you? Oh yeah, you're taking it. There you go. Take it, whatever you want. I don't.
But what you just said, I agree on. When you do tinctures, and let's say you're a creative person and you have a project to do. Tincture's the way to go.
Great. That is great for that.
It's just you kind of put yourself in a zone, and it's just, let's get this done.
You hash it out.
I mean, I've noticed, I've had episodes that that creativity just kicks in. I have a creative mind. It's what it is. I like art, so I like putting puzzles together in my head. And when I like with Eddie Betty's, it depends on which Eddie Betty I do.
Right.
They have the different ones. They got the 2-in-1s, 1-in-1, whatever, all these different kinds.
We had many of those.
It all depends. Stevia, indie, a hybrid, whichever way you're going with it. Stevia for me is more a focus. Let's get the focus. If I want a little bit of both, of course I'm gonna do the hybrid. It's what it is. My anxiety could be on max, and indica kind of kills my anxiety. Yeah. So it's like I can actually use have both worlds. But then when if I'm ready for bed, or if I'm just I'm gonna throw on a TV show, whatever, binge watch whatever. Indie's my world. I'm an indie girl at night. That's how I would prefer it to be. But it's it can get you really focused with the tinctures. For me, I maybe I gotta find the right moment for it. That was not the right moment for it. It was not. It was just one of those moments that it was just so much going on, and I wasn't in a comfort zone because we were kind of in the office, kind of just relaxing. Not take that back. We was not relaxing. I was working. Everybody was working and in and out and stuff, and it just kind of, whew. I was like, oh, okay, we can't do this. I can't do this. No. But that's for me. The morning, it all depends. It all depends on, I don't prefer it at this moment in life. Maybe my anxiety is going to start jacking up again. I don't know, whatever the case may be. I might say, I'm going to start wakey bakey.
Right.
It's what it is. But for now, I'm in a stage in life that I don't need that. And, we take it from our doctors, and our doctors tell us, this is what you should not, depending on why we're using it,
Correct.
Anxiety, depression, ADHD, pain, whatever the case may be. We do follow our doctor's orders and stuff like that, but it's really as needed.
Right.
So if you need it in the morning, all for it. If you need it, it could be your coffee in the morning. Instead of having that cup of coffee, you go and light that little doink up.
Right.
It's what it is. But that's typically my morning.
Right.
Now, how about the day? Let's say Monday through Friday, doctor's appointments and, meetings and business ventures or whatever. Would you or would you not?
For me, no, because my response, again, depending on what I'm on, I can lag.
Yeah.
And there's many
We get sluggish.
times,
Yeah.
and
on some of them, because I've
Yes.
noticed there's some that
they don't.
make you sluggish.
They don't. But I'm a stevia girl. I cannot be no type of indie girl, and
Yeah.
if I am, just know I'm finna knock out.
Yeah,
very
India,
soon.
I'm
It's
going to
just
bed.
That, like,
I'm going to
that's
bed.
just that.
I don't tell me to think.
No.
I don't want to think. I don't want to do
I'm finna
anything.
laugh at you. I
yeah. might just stare.
It's just what it is.
And it depends. It depends on the person. Again, some
Yes.
people have high tolerance. Some people have low tolerance.
Yes.
Some
Yes.
people have an in-between tolerance. It's, it's really what you...
But even when you have that hybrid too, it could be lean more that in, that Indian, it could lean more that stevia. So it all depends on where it hits. So
it depends.
I like hybrid.
Which
I love hybrid.
flower, from
Yes.
which garden
Right.
center you're going to get it from,
Right.
Because some of these garden centers, some of their levels are a lot higher. It's not always about the percentage either.
No.
And,
People have that mistaken.
Yes, they mistake that a lot. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, that one's 38.7%. I'm going to get... And then they'll be like, what the hell was this?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I'm feeling great off this 15.6%.
Yeah.
I'm great. I'm functioning. I'm doing everything I need to do. I'm not sluggish. It all depends. And people need to learn that.
Right.
I've learned that a lot being around the garden centers, being around the doctors on how they speak on it. Some of these garden centers employees are amazing. They know their shit.
Right.
And sometimes you could tell them, my doctor said I need it for this. What do you recommend? They will tell you, and they will also tell you out of personal, like experience.
Right.
I prefer this, but this might be a little too heavy for you. How about try this? And you have to learn it. You have to learn it because, when things weren't right out there in this world, because right now we all know that there's a lot of states that are medicinal between recreational, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. Some people just don't know what they're doing, and then when you really start going to these garden centers and educating yourself or really asking questions to the doctors and stuff, then you start like, oh, that's why I can't think.
Yep.
That's why I can't get a real job. Whoa, because I was doing this and I was doing that.
Right.
Some people think, oh, they're the bakers of, of the garden, and they do these Eddie Betty's, and next thing you know, it's like measurements off. Like, that's why you're on your ass, or that's why you just can't function, So you have to educate yourself, really, really do. Educational, everything, especially what we're doing here, we're trying to get that education out. Yeah. I can't even speak today, but it's like if you don't know what you're doing, why are you doing it? you know?
But that comes down to everybody feels like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I've been, I've been doing doinkers my whole life since I
Right.
was 15. I know what this is. I know what that is. Oh, I've tried this and I've tried that. And you know what? I have a friend that made this.
Yep.
And then you're like, this isn't right. Those measurements are so precise. I cannot
They are.
enforce that enough.
They are.
Like,
I'm going to give you an
precise.
example. One time, my brother gave me a corner of a brownie. A corner.
Homemade?
It was a homemade corner. So he comes and he gives it to me, and I'm like, okay. At that time, I did not at all.
Right.
I would drink. That was my hangout choice, but I just didn't.
Right.
And but that day I was going out with my friends. I wasn't driving. I was gonna go have a good time. I said, you know what? I'll take a corner. And my cousin was there, and she was like, I'll share that corner with you. That corner literally was just a little piece corner. And so I took half, she took half. It was like about 9-ish. So I'm like, okay, great. So I go jump in the shower, do it. And I'm like, oh, I didn't do anything. It was just a little corner. Time to put my makeup on. Whew.
No.
That corner did the corner. I was like, oh my. I could not think. I kept picking up my mascara backwards. Why am I doing this? And I just felt so stupid that I called my girlfriends and I was like, I can't function right now. I don't know what's going on. I just can't function right now. And they're like, what did you do? I said, I took a corner off the corner. I don't know. And then my cousin, she started feeling it after and she's giggly.
That's me.
And I'm like, yeah, but again, homemade. Measurements are not right. So of course you're going to get some effect. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't feel anything. You eat like 3 of them suckers and you're like, oh, what's going on? Again, measurements, you know.
The measurements are
or
everything.
It's not done properly. Some people think, oh, just throw this flour in there and it's just going to work. You know, but there's beautiful butter for that, you know. You have to create this butter and make it. And you know, again, the measurements.
Yeah, measurements are everything.
It's, you know, it's microdosing, all that kind of stuff. That's why your doctors tell you how much you should. Again, everybody's tolerance is not the same.
Right.
So get educated on it. Learn what you can tolerate. I mean, it's what it is. That's how I feel. I don't wakey bakey.
Right.
Because, you know, where I am now. But when I used to wakey bakey, I knew my measurements. I knew how much I can tolerate, because if I did too much, I can feel myself sluggish the entire day. And people are like, you still sluggish off that 7 in the morning?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I don't know. It's just my whole body is sluggish. Yeah. And, you know, I wasn't educated at that time, but now I am, and I'm able to not have to in the morning, you know, and like my day, if doctor's appointments, meetings and stuff, no, I don't. And if I do, I'll go ahead and do a stevia Eddie Betty or something kind of. Oh, I'll take half of one, not a full one, just like half of one, just to kind of be able to, you know, focus or whatever.
And that's what we're talking about, microdosing.
Yes. And so some people feel, oh, let me take the whole one because I got to feel, you know, like I'm just stepping on clouds. No. You have to meet up with principals. You got to go meet up with business partners. You're meeting up with investors, whatever kind of meeting, the bankers and all this. And then you're just going to agree to stuff, sign things without reading because you're too floaty in the air, you know. Yeah. And so you really have to know how to during the day. Yes. I'm not telling people not to during the day because some people use it for pain. And
they do.
They can't roll out of the bed without it.
Right.
You know, because I'm telling you, if I had the choice between painkillers, you know, to a wonderful pharmaceutical world, to my regular Eddie Betty, my doinks, my flowers, whatever, of course I'm going to go with the healthier side.
Of course, yeah.
You know, a lot of these painkillers are addicting and stuff that. And so, those people, there's a lot of people that suffer from nausea, like our cancer patients, they sit there and have to take all this radiation, and that makes them sick.
Yeah.
This is why it's recommended to them, for them to be able to function in their day. Because if not, they can't move.
They can't survive. You
Yeah,
can't eat,
so,
you can't drink.
Right.
But if you, take a doink or you take an Eddie, that gives you that appetite that you're looking for.
Right.
It gives you what you need. This
right. And some people use it for appetite.
Exactly.
Because let me tell you, there was a point in my life that I couldn't eat. The anxiety would like change all of that.
Yeah.
And I would have to do a doinker, or Eddie Betty or something just to get my appetite right. And it's bad to say, because sometimes people be like, oh my God, so you were addicted to it. No, I was not addicted to it, but it helped me get through that. And now I don't have to, unless I choose to, or if I know that anxiety is coming on and I'm like, I'm not going to function with this anxiety. I might delete this. So it gives me the choice to be able to. So that's why I'm happy where I am right now. I know there's a lot of gardeners out there that they like all day long. Yeah. But that's the only way they function.
Right.
But if I have appointments and meetings and I have to sit there, it all depends also what kind of meetings I'm having. If I'm going to go see my medicinal doctor, sure, I'm gonna take a bet, because my medicinal doctor is not gonna judge me. They know exactly what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Now if I go to the school,
That's
the
different.
judgment is everywhere.
It is.
Oh, you're such a bad parent. Oh my God, how dare you? Why am I a bad parent? Because I chose Eddie Betty's over Oxy?
Right.
Weird, or some, what's the other, Xannies or Percocets or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. I'm a great parent if I'm taking Xannies, but I'm a bad parent if I take some Eddie Betty's. Why? And that's why, that judgment.
Your flowers are coming out of your pores.
Right. It's okay. I like to smell like flowers sometimes.
They don't know how to handle that.
And some people don't. I've been in a grocery store and gotten the looks.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, you like my new perfume? I don't know. Like, why am I getting the look? Or my eyes might have been too red for them. I don't know. I know I was grocery shopping and I went there, got what I needed, and went home. I mean, I wasn't bothering you, but that judgment, you feel it. You feel the stare down.
You feel the stare.
You can hear the people talking behind you, like, oh my God, they smell so, oh my God, and it's like, why? I remember I used to be 8 years old walking down the street, and my mom used to be like, oh my God, and I used to be like, oh, that smells good. Like, what is that? I'm 8 years old. I don't know what it is, but it smells amazing. I'm okay with the smell, I don't feel that people should be judged over that. Whatever choice you have is your choice.
Right.
But again, you can't do it with schooling because they quick to judge you. But it all depends where you're going. I mean, if I'm going to a meeting and it's a medicinal meeting, sure, why not? We all smell like flowers in there. We all got bouquets in there.
We are not judging. We're walking into a safe haven to discuss our feelings and how we feel on certain days and how we can go about it. This is why it is so important to have your card if this is what you love to do. You already know Green Relief does offer that.
Yes, they do. I love them. Book an appointment with our doctor, and they diagnose you and tell you if you need it or if you don't.
Right.
Because not everybody does. Some people just do it out of just to do
because,
it, just because. And we're not even going to get into those. But if you feel that you do need it, reach out to Green Relief. They'll help you out,
yes, they will.
and they'll point you in the right direction. But yeah, that's my day. So now let's talk about the nights.
The nights are fun.
They are.
The nights truly are different because I feel like everybody's coming home, whether from work, from school, from their everyday activities, whatever it might be. Night is so different from the day, the morning, the afternoon. The night is everybody's relaxing. Either you're going to do homework, you're going to shower. It's more of get the stuff ready, but there's not a hassle where you have to hurry up. It's not like the
Right.
morning you got to leave at a
Right.
certain time or you're not going to make the nighttime. It's either you're just going to go to bed later or not, and that's just
Right.
it. You know,
Right.
you're going to go about your day. But the night, I feel like you could take your Eddie Betties, you could take your tinctures, you could take a doinker, you could take whatever it is.
Whatever
because
pleases
it's
your heart.
Exactly. Like, you've done everything you need to do for the day. Your day is
Right.
coming to an end. Enjoy it the way that you want to take it out.
Right. Right.
You know.
And like for my nights, sometimes I'm a night owl. So, I might have to be at work at 9 in the morning, but I'll catch myself going to bed at 2, 3 in the morning, even with a doink or Eddie Betty or whatever.
Right.
I might be so focused on a movie that I won't go to bed, but I am relaxed. I like to be relaxed at night because when I close my eyes and I'm ready to go to sleep, I go to sleep.
Right.
And or if I know that I have to get up really early because I have something important to do in the morning, yeah, I'll kind of time it and do it a little earlier and say, okay, I'm kicking my feet up, I'm going to sleep.
Right.
And that's the good thing about it for me at night. I can choose if I want to stay up or if I want to go to sleep. And either or, it's happening. I'm relaxed.
Right.
And my feet are kicked up. Or if I'm closing my eyes, they're shutting. It's what it is. I prefer an Eddie Betty at night. And then maybe a little bit of the doink.
Okay.
Just a little bit. And I can relax and just, or I just say no Eddie Betty and just doink away watching a TV show or movie or whatever, or just in conversation with my honey, just sitting there talking and stuff like that. But it's a time that I am relaxed. The kids are in bed already. They are already fed, showered, homework is done. They're ready to start their next day.
Right.
Now it's my wind down time. I can actually relax. Sometimes, when you do suffer from anxiety, it's hard to bring that down.
Yeah.
Really hard. And I speak from experience. Sometimes, I'm getting up off bed, I'm going to the bathroom, I'm in the mirror, I'm coming back to the bed, then I go to the kitchen, then I go check on the kids in the room. Anxiety, it just has you all over the place. And then when you wake up in the morning, you're extremely tired.
Yeah.
So if I feel that the Eddie and the Eddie Betty and the doink, it works for me.
Yeah.
If my anxiety levels are not so high, then I'll maybe just doink or I'll maybe just Eddie Betty and
Right.
keep it like that. But yeah, I like my nights. And again, if I'm hanging out and stuff with my doinker friends, we're all just doinking away, Eddie Betty away, tincture, whatever their choice is. And we're enjoying it. We're relaxed. There's no fuss and fighting, no stress on our shoulders. We're just kind of And I think this is how we've come up with this conversation, this
how we came up
podcast
with
here,
this podcast.
because we're able to sit there and get our creative juices out and brainstorm and compare notes and share our thoughts, and now it's visual.
Now here we
are. But it's my nighttime is. It depends again. It depends. My whole day all depends on what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, if I do need or if I don't need. But that's where that's for me, my preference. Again, this is my preference, your preference.
Everybody's different.
Right. Everybody else is, they're different. You take it how you want to take it, and you do how you want to do. No judgment. I don't care if you doink at 4 in the morning, doink at 7, and you doink at 12, and then you doink at 3, and then you doink. There's some people that do.
There are.
Oh
There
my
really
God.
are.
Yes, I know. They're they're going through these bouquets like it's what it is.
Yeah.
it's I want to. My anxiety's too high. It never goes away.
Right.
So your choice is your choice, and whatever floats your boat, whatever helps you sleep at night, hey, do it. So that's my night. My night is I like to relax.
Right.
And and for me at night, I like to spit out those creative juices.
Of course.
Oh my God.
That's the best time.
I think that's the best time for me. There's no one, exactly. Kids are in bed again, or they homework, everybody's showered, everybody's out the way, out my hair. I can actually get those creative juices out, and it helps with my creative juices. That's when I actually do things best.
Right.
So yeah, that's for me. Like,
right.
yeah.
Awesome. So we are wrapping this up today. We are going to we have many other topics that are coming about. This is not the only topic we're going to touch base. We're going to touch base on many different topics.
Yes.
As you all know, we are live on everywhere. We are on TikTok, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on absolutely everything
YouTube.
you can. We are on YouTube.
And there's many more to come.
Many more episodes to come. So look forward to us. We look forward to speaking and going forward and having great ideas and things to talk about.
Yes. I'm ecstatic. I can't wait to see you guys for the next episode.
The Cannabihhhh